The Whiz Kids had won it, Bobby Thompson had done it, and Yogi read the comics all the while. Rock and roll was being born, marijuana we would scorn. So down on the corner the national pastime went on trial. We're talking baseball, Klazuski, Campanella, talking baseball. The man and Bobby Fella, the Scooter, the Barber and the Nuke. They knew them all from Boston to Dubuque, especially Willie, Mickey and the Duke. Well, KC was winning. Hank Aaron.
10:05 on TSN. 690 final hour of Game Points Nightly. The special 4-day primetime run for Game Points this week, Monday through Thursday. This hour, as you can hear from the theme song as played by Marco Polo here on the board, talking some baseball with our in-studio guests, a couple of grizzled scouts. I don't think that's an insult. I think
that's how we feel.
Yeah, that's the. These are the voices of. One is a regular here on our program, talking baseball. Usually we put him on the phone because we don't like to be in the same room with him, but we'll tolerate him for now. He is a scout for the San Francisco Giants and also does some work with NDG Baseball as well. Our buddy Ray Callari. How you doing?
Very good, Mo.
Oh,
I had to do that. Thank you.
What a nice guy, huh? What a nice guy.
Great to be here, Matthew. Thank you.
And as well here, we have a scout from the Philadelphia Phillies, Alex Agostino, also doing some work as well with Baseball Quebec. How you doing?
How's it going, Matthew?
Good to have you here, my friend.
My pleasure.
So, what brought you here? I'm surprised. 10 o'clock, Monday night, holiday tomorrow.
Very good guys because of you to talk baseball, because I think what we've done the last 4 months, being on the road most of the time, is because we have a passion for the game and want to talk about it.
Yeah, you guys have some pretty good tans. I'll say that. No, do you guys put sunscreen on when you're out there, or you just?
Yeah.
No, I don't do a lot of sunscreen. Italian.
Not really.
All right. So I want to talk about a few things here in this hour, and the first thing we'll talk about is the success that Canadians are having right now in Major League Baseball. It didn't translate in the last World Baseball Classic, unfortunately, but we're seeing more and more Canadians in baseball, and it doesn't seem like it's a cyclical thing. It does seem like it's a growing thing, and you guys are obviously covering the Northeast, both sides of the border, but in terms of the guys getting to the show, Brett Laurie may be the latest guy in terms of really establishing himself at the major league level. Who are you most proud of right now when you're looking at the Major League Baseball teams and the Canadians right now?
Well, I think if you got to look at Baseball Canada and Team Canada and the job that Greg Hamilton, the director of National Team Sports, has done to get baseball in Canada on the map, not just locally, because every province does a pretty good job at the grassroots, but nationally now, every scout, not just myself and Ray, every American scout knows what Team Canada is, and that's where the Brett Lauries of the world make their mark. Like this year, Gareth Morgan from Toronto was a second or third rounder, but who signed for $1.8 million, $2 million with the Seattle Mariners. So I was coaching with that team way back when, so I'm very proud of what they've done. At the big league level, if we're talking Montreal, how can you not be proud of what Russell Martin has accomplished in his 9-year career?
And coming back from the injury,
right? Coming back. Everywhere he's gone, he's made every team better. And, I mean, we can go on. Joey Votto's having a great, career. Laurie's the young guy up and coming. You're hoping to see some other guys come up, hopefully. And, but it's a tough sport to get to the big leagues. It's a really tough sport, and more Canadians are playing in college, but it doesn't necessarily translate in big league success.
Ray, you're looking at the impact of some of these guys. Joey Votto, when you see the success that he's having right now in Major League Baseball, does he perhaps open doors for other Canadians? Is there such a thing? In other words, will teams look more towards Canada to see if they can find the next Joey Votto? Is he inspiring, do you think, other Canadians to maybe put down their hockey sticks and play baseball?
Obviously, everybody that plays now is pretty much all elite players. They come in here, like Alex said, Garrett Morgan. This guy, if you watch this guy take BP, he hits like bombs 600 feet. You know, this guy's a machine, 6'4", 220. He looks to roll. That's the problem. Is now all the players from Canada are elite players. There's no more run-of-the-mill guys. It's either they're elite or they're not playing at all. So, you know, Greg Hamilton's done a great job with the national team. Brett Lowry he played, I think, 2 years in the minor leagues. So they're going because of the competition that they're playing as well. They go to the Dominican. They play against instructional league teams. They play against extended spring teams, so they're facing big league guys and guys already pro baseball players. So they're ready when they get in, and they're not, frazzled like in the old days. Oh my, well we're facing, we're facing a big league guy. Now they're hobnobbing with these guys. Roberto Alomar was with the national team this year, so these guys are not scared anymore, and they're sitting there. Garrett Morgan faced right-hander Brendan Morrow, and he line drive up the middle.
Yeah.
So they're not facing, and they're not getting scared of the competition anymore.
Ray's right. The top players now are really, there's no stigma, there's no fear left. But I would like to see some of those scrappy type players, those guys who are maybe not the first, second round picks, get a better look. But the elite Canadian player, if you're good, you're going to be seen. And there's teams like the Brewers and Mariners that have taken Canadians. We've taken a few locally here. Ray's taken a few with the Giants. But the thing is, there's no more stigma, and scouts don't say, oh, he's from Canada, he's a hockey player. That's changed tremendously.
Guys, NBA last week, we saw the golden age of guys, Wiggins, Styles, just all go in the first round.
Alex doesn't like basketball.
But the correlation I'll use, though, is that we're seeing the golden age of basketball. We're seeing these young kids come up. Are we going to have that golden age for baseball where in the first round we're going to see a dearth load of Canadian prospects go in the top 10, top 15 of a Major League draft?
It's cyclical. I mean, Adam Lowen, who is now a minor leaguer with the Phillies, was a 4th overall pick, and Jeff Franson was a 9th overall pick in the same draft. It might have been 2003 or 4. Those guys went, like to Baltimore and to wherever Jeff Francis went back then, Colorado. Yeah. It's like not the top 9 picks you had or top 11 picks you had 2 Canadians. That was unheard of because baseball, like basketball, is played all over the place. And you've had a Brett Laurie in the first round. You've had a Scott Thorman in the first round. Even though Morgan was not a first rounder, he got first round money. And it's been like that for the last 10 years where there's always 1 or 2 guys drafted in those top 50 picks. So I think the last cycle of 10 years has been pretty good. Philippe Aumont from Quebec, how can we forget him? With Seattle, like 17th overall. The thing is baseball doesn't do a great job of marketing its draft like the NBA and the NFL.
Also, it's during the season.
Yeah,
as
and
well, right?
It's during the baseball season, and there's still the college season, and the basketball player gets drafted, signs. He's in the NBA next year. While the baseball player, you forget about him for most of the time. You forget him. He's in the minor leagues.
Not everyone's a Bryce Harper. Yeah.
No. Bryce Harper. That's the first overall pick who gets $5 to $10 million. So there has been, I'd say, a certain golden age. But to see 5 or 6, no, we won't see that. I don't know how many Canadians were drafted in the first round in the NBA. I know the number 1 went there, Wiggins. But I think it's been a good run. And as long as Baseball Canada keeps doing a good job, players get over-scouted in Canada. Now, if you're good, you're going to be seen. And some teams just like those Canadian players. That's what the Seattle Mariners have done a lot in the past. And, I think it's just been a good run the last 10 years.
Game Points here on TSN 690. We're talking some baseball here with our in-studio MLB scouts, Alex Agostino of the Phillies and Ray Callari of the San Francisco Giants. And, in terms of those 2 clubs, obviously the Giants had a great start. They're still very competitive right now. Phillies are kind of having
a down year. Retooling is a very good word.
It's on the fly,
up
maybe.
And down year,
you don't really know what to expect. They could. It's not as if they're 30 games out of first place.
Very poor division, but we're playing very poorly also.
Yeah, kind of a tough situation. They're not Mocon's Marlins, right?
My ever tough Marlins who gave away soccer jerseys actually today.
They've had a tough streak also. Nice Marlins ring
That's
here,
a
Mo.
Gorgeous ring. Gorgeous ring.
It's a big ring, Mo. It's bigger than your phone, I think.
Funny story, actually. That ring, the 03 ring, right? That set the standard for all the World Series rings to equal the size and number of diamonds. I was reading this up not too long ago. That was the measuring stick for a lot of World Series rings.
Wow. Look at that.
Mr. Loria did something, huh?
Well, he's an art guy, right? So there you go.
Game points here on TSN 690. So, where'd you come from? Where lately? You said you've been on the road. What was the last one for you?
New Hampshire and Vermont. New England Collegiate Baseball League. A lot of suspects, no prospects. Now, there's a lot of good players. It's a retooling year. Even you talk to all the scouts and all the major league teams, and they'll tell you it goes in cycles. And I think that Major League Baseball has done a great job by identifying the elite players, and those guys are signing and they're getting the money, and the other half of the good players are going to college, and there is no in between anymore. And there's a lot of summer leagues. But basically, if you want to be a player in the summer and a college guy, you got to go either those perfect game tournaments or the Cape Cod League, because that's where all the players are. There's no in between anymore. Major League Baseball is you can't miss a guy. It's rare, but somebody's seen him. It's rare that you're going to miss a guy and you're going to say, hey, nobody's ever seen him. So that's what Major League Baseball has done.
All right, and Alex, where'd you come from?
Well, the last 2 weeks I've been bouncing around. I've had a baseball camp in St. Bruno where I live with over 65 kids that is run by myself and Baseball Empire with my friend Ivan Nakarada. It's just been real fun. It's given me a break. I love coming home and teach. But I've been bouncing mostly in Staten Island, New York, Boston. I'm running the East Coast Pro Showcase team for the Phillies. We sponsor a showcase team. It's our last year, and basically we had like 500 kids in 6 different workouts in 9 states, and they'll be dressed up as Phillies. We had to pick 25 kids out of that, so that was fun. We take them to Syracuse, and the U.S., the Midwest U.S. and Florida is divided in 6, and I will have the honor to manage the Phillies team, which is the Northeast, and it's a great opportunity because these kids, it's basically free, and they get to play 4 games. And there's about, Ray's at that tournament, there's about 300 scouts, about 200 college guys. It's played in the Syracuse Sky Chiefs AAA field, and it's great for me to get to know the players as an area scout who now does New England, New York, and parts of Jersey. While being with these kids for 6-7 days together is great. So I'm bouncing around all over New England, New York, trying to travel, get home to spend some time at home, and help out my camp also.
All right, well, more with Alex Agostino of the Phillies, Ray Callari of the Giants about scouting, Canadian baseball, and, Major League Baseball, too. That's all coming up this hour. It's a final hour of Game Points Nightly for a Monday. It's a special 4-day run until Thursday. We're here until 11 on Montreal Sports Authority, TSN 690.